Do you feel there's a lot of still water to go under a bridge, a lot of learnings to be made? But do you think he's a liar? Do you think in some way that he was a bad actor? What do you make of your investment?
Yeah, I think he got a little over his head, I think. You know, the team is very young. That's the first thing you'll notice when you meet with people from FTX. They're all very young, kind of inexperienced. You know, Sam had worked a couple of years at a hedge fund as a quant trader, maybe something like that. And all of a sudden now he's running a $16 billion global company that was hiring people all over the world. So that's very tough to manage. And normally companies like that, you see, you know, McKinsey ex-McKinsey people working there, executives, Harvard Business School people. None of those people were there. It was just a very young team that was very loyal. They're all great people, and they work 24/7. And so I'm not sure what they knew what Sam was doing and all that, but that's how it ended up where it is today, unfortunately.
When you sat down with Sam and he pitched his vision to you and you decided to invest, what was it about him that pushed you to invest? Was it data, empirical analysis? Was it him?
Yeah, so I had met Sam once on a call. We were trying to explain the crypto payment system while I was at BitPay. And we spent a lot of time together on that. And I spent a lot more time with the rest of his team, actually. And so when they were raising the round, they invited me if I wanted to invest. And the deck they sent me was actually pretty light for a $16 billion round. It was only 10 slides. But one of the slides happened to say that in 2021, we'll do $1.2 billion of revenue, $800 million of net income, and only 100 employees. That really was the selling point, actually, in what they were doing. So that was pretty remarkable. What was absent from that deck was any mention of Alameda research or FTX tokens.
What do you feel now, Sonny?
So I feel a little bit, you know, again, I didn't invest $200 million the way Sequoia did. I only have to answer to my wife. So it's a little different that way. I'm more
That's almost more important.
Yes. I'm more upset for the industry and what happened. It's another black eye. Obviously, there were some red flags, but in investing, people go with momentum anyways. It was more that he really preached himself as the leader of this whole movement, working with regulators and all that. And I went to the FTX conference, which was in Bahamas last year, which was very professionally done. FTX is going to be an investor in my new company I'm launching pretty soon, so I have really a lot of trust and faith in them. And I love the team. The team worked 24/7. They're great people. They're hustling, and they all, unfortunately, probably lost everything in equity and all that. So it is a shame what happened, but it's more a black eye for the industry, and we keep shooting ourselves in the foot. Again, Bitcoin didn't fail us, right? Bitcoin, the crypto companies, cryptocurrencies were all fine. It was bad actors doing bad things again, which is why Bitcoin was created in the first place.
Sonny, you just said, I think, that FTX is an investor in your new company. What was that experience like? Because there's been some remarkable reporting coming from internally in Bloomberg about how that seemed very muddied at the time of where the money and the funds were coming from. Did you get the money from an FTX-related institution?
Yeah, so we never actually called that money yet, luckily, so we never had to worry about that. But yes, that is going to have to unravel. FTX/Alameda, by the way, is an investor in many companies throughout the crypto industry. And how that unwinds now, we're not sure. And what does FTX do with all the tokens they own, too, like Solana tokens? They own several $billion of Solana tokens. If they have to unload all that, what happens to the Solana market and things like that? So there's a lot of companies that have FTX/Alameda, again, on the cap. I think Alameda invested in more companies than FTX. And what happens with all that remains to be seen.
How have you recalibrated then? Have you had to reevaluate everything that you know and think about this industry?
So I've been in crypto for 8 years, so 9 years probably now. So we've seen a lot of ups and downs. And again, not your keys, not your coins is becoming more of a saying again. And the thing about FTX was it wasn't widely used by a lot of people, especially in America. It was more used by kind of hedge funds, crypto funds offshore that were doing a lot of trading and all that. And they had a great user experience, so they're the ones that are going to get hit. So I don't see it affecting many other crypto companies throughout the world, like Coinbase, Gemini, BitPay, Kraken, et cetera. All of the older companies never. FTX just came out in the last 3 years. We didn't get a chance to even work with them. They came on so fast. And so, unfortunately, in the last 3 years, what's happened in this cycle is all about leverage, and that never happened 6 years ago. That's a new thing that's created in the industry now, which again didn't need to happen. Which again is us shooting ourselves in the foot, I feel like.
Well, we started this conversation talking about how you invested in SBF. You've also sought to raise money for your own ventures. Do you just see VCs cancelling meetings now?
Yeah,
Are they
so
spooked?
The traditional Silicon Valley VCs are spooked, to say the least. Crypto VCs aren't as much spooked because they see this as Bitcoin performed well. It wasn't Bitcoin's fault. This was a bad actor, and this is why Bitcoin was created, to help prevent these types of things. And unfortunately, we got hit by that. So they believe Bitcoin will be $100,000 in the next 3 years. And so they have big funds already. So they're investing still at the same pace. That's their belief in all that. Traditional Silicon Valley VCs are much more hesitant now to invest in crypto companies, actually. We're seeing that. And they're hesitant to invest in anything right now, Silicon Valley VCs anyways right now.
Sonny, almost the failure here was the centralization of decentralized crypto. And I'm interested in, therefore, when we see a CZ trying to be the new white knight, is that the way in which the industry resurrects itself, another centralized position there?
Yeah, so that is the big question, right? And that's the problem, right? And, you know, Binance, funny enough, was the one 3-4 years ago the regulators hated the most, actually. They are the ones having all the issues with the regulators. And Coinbase was kind of the gold standard. And FTX was new on the scene, trying to become like Coinbase and saying, we're not Binance, we're like Coinbase and all that. And so CZ, I think, you know, Binance was in a bad light with the regulators. And now he's coming on as this white knight, but you know he's still Binance still have a lot of issues to sort out with regulators too. So I don't think they're the savior. The savior is having proper governance, getting regulations involved, and unfortunately I think regulations will probably happen, but they'll probably overdo it, which I guess is better than not doing it. So I think we'll see that coming probably in the next year or so.